Nitika, to quickly present the results of 6 cities where we did the survey, and then I will request Anumita to present. No, sorry, Anurima. Anandita. Sorry, yeah. Sorry. Anandita to present the other 6 cities. Nitika, iska phone hai. You have to be very. Yeah? Yes. Time.
I'll quickly present the results that we have in terms of the 6 cities that we have done. Things that are highlighted as bold blue boxes are the ones where the changes have actually taken place, whether they are positive
Number one, if you really look at it, the reds and the oranges, there are so many of them. That means condition of public transport in India, at least in these 6 cities, is not in a desirable state. I think that's an important conclusion which emerges out of it. Number 2, I had said about environment part of it, 2 all over. I think that's something which is, it is not, it's a, what would you call that? It's a mistake. I think we need to correct it in our measurement related issues and the standard issues. I think that's number 2 there. And changes, if you really look at the changes, there are positive changes with regard to the parking management part of it. That's, I think, is 4 has become 2 and 4. And there seems to be some action in terms of parking management, but road safety is actually worsening in one city and rest of them are very bad there. And then integrated land use transport, there is some improvement in Ahmedabad. I think otherwise things continue to be bad all over. I think that's the whole message which comes out of it. Yes, Nitin, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay, sir. Now, even though in most of the cases we say that the LOS have not changed, but when we look at it from the indicator point of view, for example, if we see the public transport facilities part of it, there are areas or sub-indicators which have shown improvement. For example, in case of Ahmedabad, the newer buses, with the coming of the newer buses, the fleet is now with better quality buses and are following UBS standards. So there the LOS is improved from 3 to 1. But each indicator, even if it is improving, is not making a significant difference for the overall level of service, which is still remaining the same in most of the cities. So again, for Surat, which is now investing a lot in its public transport, new BRT is getting set up and they are having a high frequency network as well. A lot of effort is going in there, but still if you see the overall level of service, the range is not changing there. But there is effort that we can see when we dig down into each of these sub-focus areas, that there is something which is happening there. Similarly, in case of Hubli Dharwad, we can see in case of Mysore also the level of comfort is improving, and in case of Bhubaneswar also the service coverage is improving from 3 to 2. So there are changes that are happening. There are small efforts that are happening in the city level, which we are also trying to capture through here. Similarly, in financial sustainability, 2 cities, Ahmedabad and Kohima, has shown some improvements in terms of the non-fare revenue, basically. In case of Kohima, even though the public transport is in a very bad state, now they have started putting out their buses on contracts and stuff, and then the financial condition of the transport is improving a little bit for them there. Similarly, for pedestrian infrastructure facilities, we see that, you know, in case of Ahmedabad, the delays on the signalized intersections have increased, and hence pedestrians have to wait for a longer time to cross roads, which is again has an implication on the safety part of the network as well. Similarly, in case of Hubli Dharwad, the street lighting on footpaths has gone down. Now, this is also because a lot of construction activities are happening in Hubli Dharwad. The new BRT is getting constructed. So we are also looking at these interim things that are happening at that particular point in time, which is changing these. Similarly, NMT is bad all across, so nothing much is happening there. ITS facilities, again, certain cities are investing on GPS and on surveillance systems. In case of Bhubaneswar, we see an opposite trend where the level of service last time when we measured was 1 and now it is 4, because now all buses have stopped using GPS altogether. So it's also an operational problem that they are facing in terms of how they are managing their systems. Road network performance, again, Surat and in case of Bhubaneswar, the lux levels have improved, and in case of Surat, we have the percentage area under roads has also improved. Parking management, there are cities which are taking efforts across. So there is some level of efforts from the city side to start charging for parking and making more paid parking areas, and also increasing the fee for parking. In case of road safety, everything seems to be going down the drain here. We can see in case of Kohima, even though the fatality rate has increased and the level of service has gone down from level of service 1 to 4, the NMT accidents have reduced. Now they are having more motorized accidents than the pedestrian accidents, because that's the trend that we are seeing in Kohima. Again, in terms of environment, that is a big issue we've already spoken about, and we really need to see how we measure these things, because across all these cities, we know that the environment is not as good and as rosy as it is showing in the results. Similarly, in integrated transport, cities are investing some efforts in small ways in all the focus areas. And IPT, again, in case of Hubli, we saw that the speed improved a little bit in IPT. So what we've also done is the estimation for future years. So what we did was, in case of Surat and in case of Hubli Dharwad, where we had data for the detailed information for the projects that were going on, and information in terms of how many buses they are going to get and what will be the service frequency and things. So we took all that information and we tried to put it into the indicators to see how it would improve from 2015 to 18. So these are our estimates. So we say that in case of public transport, there is a positive change that is seen in quite a few indicators, even though the level of service is not really going to change much, the overall level of service, but there is a significant improvement in the sub-indicators indicated there. Similarly, we had information from the Smart Cities project on the ITS facilities that the cities are also investing in, and we tried to calculate the improvements in the ITS facilities, and we see that there is going to be a big improvement there from 4 to now 3 by 2018 if all these projects are implemented the way they have been envisaged. Similarly, we did this for Hubli Dharwad as well, and we saw that the overall service, even though remains same, but the improvements on the indicators that we could measure have now become from say 4 to 2 and from 3 to 2 and from 4 to 1 in some of the cases. So there is going to be significant improvement if the investments keep flowing in the way they are envisaged. Similarly, in case of ITS, again, the overall service will improve with the coming up of GPS facilities and signal synchronization and integrated ticketing. Now the major conclusions that we draw is that there are cities that are investing some efforts into improving their system, especially Hubli Dharwad and in case of Surat as well. However, most of the cities are stagnant as far as their performance is concerned. If you see the measurements, we did the first measurement in 2011-12 and the second one in 15-16. So we had only 2 to 3 years gap between these two measurements. And hence not much difference is seen in most of the cities as far as the investments are concerned and how they have kind of looked into things. We also see that there is a major issue of NMV facilities across all cities, even though some small efforts are being done in a couple of cities, but overall the performance is really poor. And this also somehow impacts the public transport, because the first mile and the last mile connectivity is linked. Improvement in public transport and more people coming and using public transport is linked to NMV. We all recognize that. So hence we need to do something about that. Parking management, we've seen that there is improvement across. People are looking into demand management measures and hence investing more in those measures, and that effort is being recognized, and improvements are seen in that aspect. We would like to focus on NMT, because that is something that now needs to get a center stage, where The government is also putting a lot of effort from its programs like Amrit and Smart Cities, where they're bringing focus onto the NMT, pedestrian and the cycling facilities in the cities. So we need to look into it, this aspect more, and having more investments there.
Yep. Thank you.